Today's task is making a cardboard fuel tank, but first I need to empty the car. I've got one of these eBay cheap cheerful 20 litre fuel tanks, but it's not going to be ideal for what I need. The exhaust is going to run down the sill and it has to enter the car here and then pass through here to finally meet the massive turbo at the back. So if I get the wings out, get everything else out of the way, take this fuel tank out and place everything in that I need at the back, then I've got a rough plan of where everything needs to be. Try and find some exhaust tubing in the main workshop and place some tubes down so I know what the fuck's going on. Right, we're empty. It's a bit dusty, so I'm going to give it a quick hoover out. I've got Lenny, Henry's distant yellow cousin, but his tips fell off, so I'll have to find that first. And then the reason this is no good for me is they've got a little sump on them, which is fine in itself for probably anybody else that uses them, but I've got, excuse me Lenny, this tube running through the bottom, and it sort of sits the tank in a bit of a strange place. I'll just show you. The sump sort of gets in the way of mounting it in a decent location. If I mount it that way, which is the way I want the ends to flow, it ends up flowing straight into the chassis of the tunnel, so raise it up and end up with this massive gap underneath, which I don't want. Chuck the front wings on, remind you just how cool this thing looks. The Group B style I was after, and I found Lenny's tip. Power steering pump, electro hydraulic job, couple jerry cans just to represent some fuel tanks for now. I reckon about here, height wise, I reckon I'd get away with the 30 litre capacity that I'm after. I can still access the bottom arm bolts as well, which is ideal. And with that sort of size, I can use the main beam to mount them from. And yeah, I'll have a little bit of a gap here, but I'll probably put a small sump on the tank I make just so it catches any crap, so I can drain it every now and then. Next task to consider is where this exhaust is going to go. So I know it's going to come from here, from running down the sill, but it's going to have to pass through the bulkhead. That's going to be this area or this area, I'm not too sure yet. If we take a look into the guts of the car, I can't come through the wheel arch whatsoever. You know, the wheel sits there. If I come through this plate, it's going to be quite close to suspension components. I've got to remember there is a drive shaft here, it's not in a minute. Push right out of the way. We can come through here again. Drive shaft's going to be somewhere around there. It's going to have to be quite high. Oh, what's that say? When the engine's turning, Andy's guts be churning. Thanks AJ, much love. Yeah, so I've got to work out the exhaust route really, because I need to know where these tubes are going to go. What I've also got to remember is there is a bar tube to come from the roll cage up to this area here as well. So I need to make that also. So I've put a cardboard tube in to represent the roll cage, and I reckon roughly there I'll get away with, because if I come through to here, I put those two out there, going through to the diff, which is quite hard to view, should have plenty of room, because through here, this area doesn't really do anything. And if I can come through this triangle and come around to here, that was a much easier way of doing it, and come around to here, and I can come up to the turbo. Everything's sort of tacked on for the turbo at the minute, it's not permanent. So this angle is not permanent, which is ideal really, because I don't really want to be coming through here for this. Sort of stand that up and have it coming from there, feed that side and that one that side, because the car is symmetrical. So that's to solve my exhaust problem, but as a bonus to that is that if it does go through there, I can use the tube of the cage to sort of form a bulkhead. And it's badly shaped cardboard bulkhead, but you get the idea. I can seal it in, make it a bolt-on job so I can service the exhaust. Hopefully I won't need to, but that should be one problem solved. Got my cardboard fuel tank. My measurements suggest it's roughly 14.9 litres, so 2 of those would be 30 litres. We found a cardboard box same size, just rip the top off. 30 litres probably isn't going to be enough, so for a bit of extra capacity I'm probably going to come out to about here and run along the beam, follow that shape, add a bit of capacity to it. I've not worked that out yet. Leave the power steering pump over there because I need to sort of offset some of the driver weight. Throwing some quick measurements down, done some quick maths, and that should give me an extra 4.5 litres, which will take me to about 35 litres total capacity, so that'll be ideal. I'll make the other one out of cardboard as well, and then start breaking it down into templates, and then begin the world's longest fabrication montage of a fuel tank. Until next time.